Over the years, the characters of Ninjago have developed very distinct personalities. From who they are as people to how their personal experiences change them throughout their life, it's clear that there's a great importance to how a character is handled. With Dragon's Rising being a continuation of the long-running series, we've gotten to see the ninja go through very different experiences than they otherwise would have, especially with the introduction of new main characters. And I wanted to talk specifically about each one, and we'll start with the team leader Lloyd. We've known pretty much since the prophecy of the Green Ninja that Lloyd was destined to take the lead, and with Master Wu out of the picture, he has to do that now more than ever. And it's a great reflection of his growth as a character, seeing how naturally he's able to do it. He takes on a role of leadership not only with Eren and Sora in the first season, but also in the second when he leads his entire team into the tournament. He's able to remain calm and reassure his team under even the most extreme circumstances. He displays not only the skills and lessons that he learned as a student, but also the lessons that he learned from his students. From Eren helping him to have faith in his ability to be a mentor, to Sora helping him not turn his fear into a self-fulfilling prophecy during the Tournament of Sources. While becoming a mentor is a massive learning curve, Lloyd is able to navigate it with a lot of wisdom. He's also learning that he doesn't have to be just like Master Wu to be a good mentor. Throughout the seasons, we've seen him trying to mirror Wu when it comes to him being in charge. But Dragon's Rising has allowed him to take on his own form of leadership and become a teacher unique from his uncle. He's becoming more comfortable and confident in himself and his abilities, which is wonderful to see from a character who's put in so much effort to make sure he's being the best mentor he can be. Kai has taken on his own leadership role and almost parenting role to Wildfire. Having Kai and Wildfire being a close pair in the series was an amazing idea. Kai can see his younger and more immature self in Wildfire, and that makes him the best person to teach her how to improve. He knows how to guide her through things because he's been through them himself. I love that they've kept his confidence, but also made him a bit more of a calm and patient character. This is some of the best and most apparent growth that any of the ninja have been through. Kai not only knows how to apply the lessons that have been taught to him, but he also knows how to teach them to others who need it. And Wildfire being so trusting of Kai makes it easy to see how great Kai is as a mentor. Not only that, but he's played multiple familial roles to different characters over the seasons. He of course pretty much raised himself and Nia, but he also took on an older brother role for Lloyd during Season 5, and is now essentially a father figure for Wildfire. The most family-oriented character, however, is probably Cole. All the way back in Season 1, Cole was held back from reaching his true potential because of his relationship with his father. He wanted to have a resolution and a good relationship with him. And in having that goal achieved, he was finally able to reach his true potential. In Master of the Mountain, we also see how he's impacted by the loss of his mother. For Ninjago viewers watching this season, seeing him defeat the Skull Sorcerer was a very emotional moment, not only because he was able to save Shintaro, but because he was able to fulfill his promise to his mother. His connection with her was a driving factor during the entire season. Cole's biological family is not his only family, though. The ninja themselves are a family as is. And Cole being so responsible and caring for all of his teammates is a great way of showing how he treats his found family as his real family. Going forward into Dragon's Rising, when Cole ends up in the Land of Lost Things, he does the same thing with Bonsal and Geo, and the two kids, Spitz and Fritz. Cole is essentially the leader of their little family, as he does everything from make meals for them to protect them from whatever threat may come their way. Cole has also found a close friendship with Geo, and we're able to see how confident he makes Geo, as at first he seems unsure of how useful his elemental power really is. But by the time he reaches the Tournament of Sources, he seems much more confident and comfortable with using them. Cole also now essentially has his own student for the future, which is Frack, the Master of Quake. We see in episodes like The Last Djinn that Nia is able to take people under her wing like Sora. She's grown to use her kind-heartedness to help the people around her. This is especially impactful knowing that she's dealing with struggles of her own, namely Jay going missing. And during Season 2, she's not only without the love of her life, but her brother has also disappeared into the nether space. She has to deal with all of this while competing in the tournament, which includes fighting against Jay himself. Nia is put through a lot of emotional stress in this season, and it's impressive to see how she rises above it. While these things are obviously affecting her mentally, she doesn't let her circumstances keep her from doing the best she can for her team and the people around her. It would be easy in a situation like that to just give up, but in Dragon's Rising Season 2, Nia's determination comes through more than ever. As for Jay, he hasn't had much screen time at all, and for 2 full seasons that's not really the best thing to see. He's an integral part of the team, and I wish he could have had more appearances during these 2 seasons. I also would have loved more dialogue about Jay, but generally it seems that the show is building up a sort of mystery around what happened to him and what's going to happen to him. We already know that he's lost his memory and shattered his goodness, and with drastic events like that, his story is bound to come to a climax soon. But as of right now, there's not really that much to say about him. With such little screen time, there isn't much to talk about in terms of the way his character is handled, because we barely see it handled at all. Last is Zane, and if I'm being honest, he doesn't really feel like a ninja. At this point in the story of Dragon's Rising, he hasn't had much important dialogue or many important scenes, and it's a little disappointing that his character hasn't seen more use, because it's been several years since we've had a season focused on Zane. It also seems more like he's being used as the team computer, kind of like the joke that he made in the Ninjago movie. He also doesn't switch between his human and robot appearance anymore, sticking completely to his titanium form. This only serves to make him feel more robotic, and after not getting to compete at all during Tournament of Elements, having him out after the first round of sources wasn't really what anyone wanted to see. We also haven't gotten any backstory of how he ended up in the monastery under Imperium. So in general, it feels like Zane's kind of taken a back seat. But having seen Zane's stories way back in the past, it's obvious that there's a lot of potential for his character, and I can only hope that it will be put to use. Zane's character hasn't been handled badly so much as it's been ignored. But stories with as many details and characters as Dragon's Rising do require patience, so I think that for the most part, the ninja have been handled excellently in Dragon's Rising. And I'm glad that they've kept and made so much use of their core personalities and values, and that the elements of their past have influenced the present so much for them. But that is all for now.